We hope you are enjoying The Lean Manufacturer. Today we are excited to welcome Marco Bizi, Global EOS Director at EnerSys, to the show. Marco knows that human expertise, creativity, and well-being are EOS's most crucial ingredients. Learn how he describes how he and EnerSys drive manufacturing success with their people.
Putting people at the heart of everything we do may sound counterintuitive to those of us in lean manufacturing who work primarily with equipment. But my guest today is passionate about the contribution that people make to the excellence that comes out of a lean manufacturing environment. I'm delighted to have with me today, hailing originally from Brazil, but with family from Italy, Marco Bizi. If I blend my Brazilian and my Italian, Marco, welcome to the Lean Manufacturers. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Ofi. Thanks so much to have me here.
EnerSys is one of the leading manufacturers of energy, batteries, and storage equipment for the industrial industries. Tell me a little bit about the products that you make and the industries that EnerSys serves.
Okay, great. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's an honor for me to be here on this podcast. EnerSys is one of the largest batteries companies in the world, and we are very well known for some products that you have is for forklifts. We call motive power, like 50% of the forklifts in the United States, maybe in the world, use our batteries, all right? And also, I'm responsible for continuous improvement EnerSys Operating System program in one division that you call TPPL, Tin Plate Roulette. At this, I'm responsible for 5 plants globally, 3 in Missouri, United States, with 1 distribution center, and 2 in Europe, 1 in France, another 1 in Wales and UK, and 1 distribution center in France as well. And in our division, TPPL, you manufacture batteries for IT, also for transportation. One of our very well-known batteries we call Odyssey battery that the people that follow Formula Indy see that we sponsor Penske, one of the cars in Penske. You can see sometimes some race Odyssey battery in the races.
Now, your business must be growing just tremendously, both in terms of scale and adoption across multiple industries. I think we think of batteries, in UPSs in the IT world, or maybe at the telco head-end station, but now lots of different industries are embracing the technologies that you make. Tell me a little bit about how the company's expanded.
Yes. Battery is a big deal right now. Everybody wanted to have their equipment more autonomous as possible. Like in motive power in our batteries for forklifts, we have right now a new product like you can charge the forklift wireless as your phone. You don't need to connect it. You can put your forklift closer to the one area and you charge your forklifts as you are charging your phone, actually, wireless. All right. Also, we just announced 1 or 2 months ago that we'll be building our brand new lithium battery factory, our gigafactory in Greenville, South Carolina. And this is going to happen in the next 3 years approximately. We are growing our business a lot.
That's got to be bringing tremendous number of jobs to South Carolina. I'm sure you're quite popular.
Yes, about 500 new jobs. And it will be our brand new gigafactory with less technology that you can have in one lithium battery company.
You're the director of the EnerSys Enterprise Operating System, or EnerSys Operating System, EOS?
Yes, EnerSys Operating System, exactly. We are kind of, is a similar that we have a Toyota production system, is our operational excellence system in EnerSys.
Now, just even from the name operating system, that evokes my IT background and thinking about operating systems as a controlling environment. But when I've spoken with you, it's really all about the people and enabling the workforce that you have. Tell me a little bit about the workers that you serve.
Yes, this is very important. In EnerSys Operating System, we are focused. You have basically three pillars, just for three columns in our system. You have like a people, you have our customer, and you have our shareholders. But our principle is people first. We strongly believe that with people, make the right thing. We support our people that build the batteries, our batteries. We can support our customers that came just after very well. And with the happy customers, the shareholders can make their margins as well, can make their money as well. This is the right sequence. People first, and then you have our customers, and then you have a shareholders. And sometimes say shareholders that make the investing, and the company is not your number one. So, well, if you take care in the right phases, the money is coming, you'll be profitable companies as you are today. But you have to put priorities as a people, the people on the floor that really make the batteries. This is one that you are focused on.
I can imagine that people first on a T-shirt or on a poster in an office break room, but EnerSys and the EOS really lives this value in the way that, in everything that you do and the way the organization operates. Maybe you could translate how that people first mantra translates into the way you organize yourselves and the facilities that you manage.
Yes, very good question. As any excellence operational system, we do our Gambas, we do our MDIs. MDIs manage daily improvements that every day in every single plant that you have, our core team, our managers, plant managers, and managers for each area with the main people, we go to the floor to make our Gamba, our MDI on the first hour of the day. If the plant starts to work at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., the first shift, this is the time that will be on the floor for at least an hour. And you go area by area, checking and talk with our people, how they are performing. And normally, when you do that, you check our performance from the previous day, and then you check what are they doing today. And you make a lot of questions. What do you have to do to make your day better? And you talk this with our operators, the people that is building the batteries. Because this is, as I mentioned many times here in the company, in EnerSys, you can remove all managers. If you give it the right material, the people on the floor have the right procedures, everything works fine. They make the goal. They build the most battery that they can make it. And they will be a very profitable company. They deliver the material on time. However, if the all managers come and the people on the floor don't come, we don't know how to build the batteries, to be very honest. It will be harder to, because you don't know the tricky things how to do it. They are the expert. I used to make a lot of analysis. And then for me, like in a hospital, the operators for me on the floor, for us on the floor, they are the doctors. We, the support teams, are the nurse. They tell me what you needed to make this happen. They ask it, you try to provide it. Now, of course, you try to coach them how to make this the best that they can in the most efficient way as possible, training them, coaching them. But the most important coming from them. And to make sure that our people support that. Even with the papers, even with the digital tools to make this happen, you try to make this best as possible to them.
Now, you and I had a friendly conversation about the importance of learning how to do something manually before you trust a system to perform that task for you, whether that's teaching our kids how to drive a Standard before they learn to drive a Tesla, or my maths teacher insisting that I do the calculations on paper before I was able to use a calculator. This is really an intrinsic mindset to the EOS, learning how to do things manually first so that the operators can then understand how to really guide and take advantage of the technology. Maybe expand on that idea a little bit.
Yes, this is very important because when we implemented EOS in EnerSys was about 7 years ago approximately, we started everything on paper. Okay, you put boards on the floor, and we used to call the power of the pen. Because from the very beginning, the people was a little bit, not the people mentioned, Marco, I have to spend so much time in the morning, fill the forms, updating the charts, make the creating Paretos with my hand, etc., etc. And they say, you have no idea how this will help you to transform your performance in your department. With the time, the people start to understand, because even in the beginning, the people would like to say, Marco, can I use my computer? I put the charts on Excel, they print it, and I put it here, it'll be easy. If I say, no, you have to calculate it by yourself. You have to draw your bar with a pen and put it here. But it don't need to be nice. Must be meaningful for you. Must have the right data. Forget about the Excel. You just put it with your hands, everything will be fine. And the people, with the time, they start to understand how this information comes from, because they learn how to calculate the cycle time, how to what is the most important, what is the Pareto rules, okay, the 80-20 that you use a lot, okay? And then with the time they understand. After that, we start to move it to digital solutions already. Right now, we're moving after a few years, we start to move to digital solutions. Some plants that are our MEDI, Managed Daily Improvement, are fully digital with screens, touch screens everywhere, the people understanding. Some are not so much because they take longer. Each plant, there is their own DNA. Some plants, they go faster, some are not so fast as our kids, okay? And then right now we are moving. Right now, basically, our plants has some evolution in the digital way, but they're doing this cautiously. As I mentioned for you another day, that I have my son Gabriel, with 20 years old, is going right out to 20. I give him his first car, not so long, but he called me, say, Dad, can I have a Tesla? He don't even know how to drive. And no, you have to have the ideal for me should have a Toyota and ship with standard to know since the beginning how to do it and know how to change a tire, know how to take care of a car. With the time in the future, of course, you may have a Tesla because you know how to drive a car properly. It's the same analysis that we do here. And with calculator, when I was in the school in Brazil, for many years, even in college, I could not. On end of the 1980s, beginning of the 90s, I could not use a calculator. It was made by hand. It was 3-hour tests to make some huge calculation. Then my background is electrical engineer. Was a lot of calculation. Only my last year of college, I could use a calculator in Brazil. And right now, the kids already started born with the phones. They know everything. I know it's another generation, but you cannot lose to teach the basics to them, to our kids, but of course to the employees. Right now, the people in our plant that already have some digital solution, if something happen in our screen, they move to the boards easily and they know to calculate it and they keep the process without many problems.
Well, for an organization, the pun is very tempting, who makes batteries, for machines potentially like a Tesla. You are providing an operating system that is Tesla grade to your operators and your internal customers. We're here because we're a software company, and EnerSys is a wonderful client of ours adopting and using our software, but it's fascinating to think about the human-to-human connection that you're making, teaching people how to do things first in their minds and with their hands, the power of the pen, before translating that. Talk to me about the power and the role of digital technology for you now going forward. You've got operators who understand the processes in their bones, and now they can use technology to accelerate processes.
Good. We implemented some solutions even from PTC as well in our equipment, in our process, and to collect the data as well. And then we are moving this carefully. We're not going so fast as some people really like to do it. Even inside of EnerSys, some departments like to go faster, but we are doing this cautiously because we need to make sure that when you collect the data, you can use the data properly. We believe in EnerSys. The people that like lean know that we have 8 categories of wastes. We are creating here soon the 9 category of wastes. The number 9 is unused data. Because if you collect the data, you don't know how to do it, this is a waste. We need to make sure that you are collecting the data, you can interpret the data, and take the decisions with data. Right now, even we are already starting to make some analysis about artificial intelligence that you can use our digital data in our MDIs that we already use it in some plants, how to make a root cause analysis using artificial intelligence. But before, we are in the very beginning of this phase, very beginning. Maybe you take a year or two, or maybe a little bit more to fully implement it. But how you can collect the data, how you need to make sure the data is right. Otherwise, you give the wrong data to artificial intelligence, they give a wrong answer for us. It will be a waste as well. We need to make sure the data that's coming is meaningful, helping us to take the right decision, and then move to artificial intelligence. They can interpret this and can help us to make fast decisions and move forward. But we are doing this carefully, step by step, but always mention to the people on the floor that these tools that we're implementing will not change their jobs. They will improve their jobs, but they not lose their jobs. You want to make more batteries with more people, but make sure they are doing this, take decisions faster, you can react faster, then you can gain more market share as well.
So you've said a lot there. You've talked about waste of data. Data has a carbon footprint. There's also an opportunity cost associated with not putting that data to work. And then you've spoken about, being able to enable your operators to do more faster with less time, potentially with less money, and yet not threatening your employees. You've spoken to me about labor being your most precious commodity, being able to have more people rather than fewer people as you AI enable the future. Tell me what that balance will look like for EnerSys and the EOS into the future.
Yeah, this is a very good point. In Lean, and my long experience in Lean, sometimes the people is afraid that would like to, of course, every single company would like to have to reduce their cost, make it cheaper, to make more margin and get more market share. But you pay a lot of attention that we cannot lose our people. The people on the floor cannot be afraid that they're gonna, they'll make this, instead of 5 on the department, right now can do exactly the same with 3. Yeah, possibly we are focused on that. But these 2 people that we are moving from this process will execute another functions, because the goal is making more with less or making more with the same people, because the job will be changing. Instead of have 5 people making manual stuff, we have 1 will be removed to collect the data, to help to analyze the data, another 1 to help to support, we call in EnerSys RIE, Rapid Improvement Events, and Toyota words, people say Kaizens. You remove it, but you keep in constant evolution and change it. But we make a lot of sure that our employees on the floor, they feel these changes are for good. Even is this one of the most challenging part of my job, to be very honest, because we are focused on the people on the floor, but the people on the floor, they are the most challenging people as well, because we need to make sure they feel comfortable with the changes that are coming. Human beings don't like changes. Human beings love comfort zones. To be there, make every day the same things, be safe, arrive 8 a.m., go to the home at 4 p.m. sometimes, but they'll try to do that. Every single change that's coming is for the best. It's for them to improve their job, to make it more safe, to make it more sustainable, because the EnerSys will work a lot of sustainability stuff. We want to very companies say they are not very sustainable, but we are changing their mind. Yes, you can make a green, you can make you can make a batteries that don't affect the environment and the people as well. You care about the safeties. You try to show this every single time when something happens on the floor. You try to show them how important they are to us, and they can accept the changes without be afraid of that. Because this is the most challenging part, but it's more rewarding as well. When you see the people that a year ago or a few months ago, they are against something. Right now, they feel like, hey, I can talk it and I can improve it. I can use more digital tools to even to improve my job, make it less harder and make more batteries or more, they be more efficient. Everybody try to be successful, whatever they do it. If you make a plate to put in the battery, to put a sticker outside of the battery, everybody want to be successful person, whatever they are doing. And you try to show this to them, how good they are doing their job.
Well, you're in the power business, and what I hear shining through in your discussion is that you're really empowering the people on the plant floor to understand how things work and be an agent in making things improve. Beyond that, what would you advise our listeners is the most important part of investing and developing a continuous improvement program, such as the EnerSys Operating System?
Well, every single time that you have to implement a new tool in your shop floor, you will have to thinking about, you have to listen to the opinion of our people on the floor. Many times I have this bad experience in my life that we implement a new tool, new equipment, new process, even new digital solutions without hear our people. Every single time that you make a Kaizen event, if you don't invite the people that execute their job on the floor, if you don't invite them, they feel like we are treat them. They must be part. Every single time that you make it here in the RIEs, like rapid improvement events, if you like to implement a new tool on the floor, everything, you take a operator, the guy or the lady that work there for years doing that job, put on the screws on the top, invite them to participate in it. They feel empowered of that because they make a part of the decision. When the people make a part of the decision, they buy this new solution, they change it by themselves because he's the proud of that. And these I recommend every single time that you're going to implement a new tool, even a new PTC tools that are amazing, they must be consulted the people on the floor. They must understand things at the beginning. It is good for them. And they listen their opinion, make the right training, give the right time to them to understand what they are doing. And make sure with that, I can guarantee that return of investment that they're doing on that. Sometimes they make millions of dollars in one single line to build new batteries. But you forget the most important. Listen to the people. When you lost that portion, the implementation of this will be painful for both sides. For the people in the support areas, engineering, quality, maintenance, and the people in operations that they are building the batteries, will be painful for both sides because one side don't listen another. And sometimes I talk with the people in the support areas, engineering, maintenance, finance, even my team in the operational excellence. I make this question to them. How many times you go to the floor today, you talk to the people on the floor to understand their problems, to try to, because you told me that they have a new solution for this problem. Looks amazing in the PowerPoint. Amazing, looks perfect to work. You to bring somebody from the floor and present this to them and make sure they agree with that, they are buying this idea, they hear less their opinion. If not, 50% of chance for failure, for sure, easily. Even in our new digital solutions that we are implementing here for MEDI, one thing that we are asking is make sure the people on the floor, they have access to create it, continuous improvement ideas. Like we call here accountability tags that before was a piece of paper, a format in one A4 format. They come up with a problem, they write with their pen the problem, you put it on board, somebody in less than 24 hours have to pick it and provide solution for that. Right now, move to digital. I will need to make sure the people on the floor, they have access. Because many people on the floor, they have no, like my son, our kids that open the tablet, they know to navigate it perfectly. They are not like that. We cannot lose this contact with them. We cannot. When you make it digital, but make sure they understand how to work it and don't be afraid to open their ideas, to communicate with them, communicate with us, providing, asking support. And we must provide the support as quick as possible, not from our computers. Even if we have to answer through our computers in our office, we have to go there to request feedback from them.
Well, we opened our conversation talking about putting people at the center of everything that you do. In parting, what advice would you give to our listeners who may be thinking about embarking on a digital journey? Is there one piece of advice that would help them put people at the heart of what they're endeavoring to do?
Yes, basically it's what I mentioned a few minutes ago, that these investments that you are doing, sometimes millions of dollars of investments on the digital solutions, make sure you do these in the right steps. Make sure you don't try to change everything in once. Take a time to the people to understand. Make sure we try to implement this in the way that the operator and the people can understand and can translate this from the paper to the digital solution. Don't bypass steps. Like we are discussing here already, some artificial intelligence solutions, but I say, guys, let's go slowly. And need to make sure the people, before find the artificial intelligence solutions for root cause analysis, you need to make sure our people know how to do root cause analysis. They understand how it is coming from, how to make a 5Y, how to make a fishbone analysis, how to make a tree thinking, AD, ourselves. Don't bypass important steps. Don't do that, because we already make these kind of mistakes, and to try to return is very hard, because the people feel like the project failed, and this is not the case. But you need to make sure that we are listening our main customers, that for me is our people. Our main customer are the people. If we take care of them, they take care of our EnerSys customer. That is the guys, the plant business that really buy and love our batteries.
Marco, thank you so much for being with us. I'm sure our viewers and listeners will take away many nuggets. We appreciate you joining us here on The Lean Manufacturer. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wofi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to The Lean Manufacturer. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite streaming platform, and please leave a rating or a review. Be sure to check out other episodes to hear new perspectives on improving life for manufacturers in areas like operational efficiency, quality, sustainability, lean strategies, and the connected worker. If you have a topic of interest, a question, or want to provide feedback, email us at theleanmanufacturer@ptc.com or visit us at ptc.com/theleanmanufacturer.